Hi there YouTube, what's good? So Chris here from Team Slushy, which you can see here. Then I'm going to bring you a deck profile of my deck, Darklord deck, which I run 3 Darklord Asmodeus. He's a boss monster of the deck. His effect is you can just send one fairy type to the graveyard, which set up your plays, and it's a 3000 beat sig. And if your opponent destroy him and sends it to the graveyard, you can just special summon 2 tokens, which is pretty good. I run 3 of them. Then I run 3 Darklord Zerato. Zerato is a very good card because you can just pitch dark monsters to the graveyard and blow your opponent's field. It's like an extra dark hole just for your opponent. So, and it's a 28 beater, which is very good. Yeah. And I play 1 Darklord Superbia. This guy wins games. It's like you can special summon him from the graveyard, and then you basically +1 because you special summon another like fairy type monster from your graveyard, which is absolutely good. But I play 1. And I play 2 Kristyas. Kristya like stops a lot of decks that special summons a lot, like Heratics. Other decks like very depends on special summoning and with low attack monsters such as windups. If you bring this out first turn and they have no answer, no dark hole, then you can just beat them down for 28. So the main point of the deck, we run to Hecatric, which brings out your Valhalla, Hall of the Fallen. This card is very good, and it's a fairy too. And I play 2 Herald of Orange Light. This card is so good because other than you need to pitch 1 fairy to the graveyard, that's the only downside of it, but you can negate basically any effect that activates, not just only on the field, but when they dump it into the graveyard, such as they Valor your monster, you can just dump this and then their Valor is useless. So it's a pretty good card, and I run 2. And I play the 2 Athenas. Athena works like an extra monster reborn, while if you normal summon or special summon any fairy monsters, your opponent automatically takes 600 life points damage. So this is like if you summon any level 4 like fairy type monster, you can tribute it and then get Darklord Superbia and then just do the loop and burn your opponent for at least like 1200 direct damage, effect damage. That's pretty good. So for my personal attack, actually before that, I ran to Phantom of Chaos. I was running at 3, but I took out 1 just to put 1 Dark Realm Dragon because normally I will have a consistent number of 3 darks in my grave. So Dark Realm is definitely good in this deck, and you get extra popping too. The reason why I run Phantom of Chaos is you can abuse its effect by removing dark monsters such as Dark Realm Dragon to pop your opponent's cards, make them lose monster, and it gains the attack too, so you can run over the big monsters. And or you can just like my favorite case is like I remove Darklord Superbia, and then I use the effect to dump 1 fairy to the grave, and then after that I attack. If they mirror force it, I still get the token, so that's really good. That's one of my most favorite plays. Yep. And personal preference, I just run 2 Tragoedias because normally if I don't have Valhalla, it's a very pain in the ass. So I run Tragoedias just for some protection, and I can just waste my opponent's resources because normally I will have a big hand, like 6 cards. So I can drop this and attack my opponents for 36. Or maybe I can just dump 8 stars to take their synchro monster that control their synchro monsters, or drop 4 stars, take control of your Thunder King, which is pretty good. This deck runs a lot of monsters, so it's good to run track. Then I play 1 Morphing Jar. Morphing Jar is so good in this deck when you draw nothing, and then you can set all your back rows and set this card. With maybe you will have a like Herald of Orange on your hand, maybe a fairy type. If they activate like I flip this on my opponent and he Valors it, then I chain Herald of Orange Light, dump a fairy to the grave, and then negate the effect. This card resolves, I get a new hand, and my opponent loses all his hand. So it's pretty good. Then I run one BLS, because BLS win games by its own, so why not tag into it, since you play light and dark so much. I mean I play, right? Then the main engine of the deck, you can call it the heart of the deck, which is Valhalla, the Hall of the Fallen, which gives you a free like 3000 beater or 28 at least beater on the field when you control no monsters. So it's just too good not to play. So I run 3 of them. Then my basic draw powers are 2 trade-ins and 1 Allure of Darkness. Since I play a lot of dark monsters, so I can just remove from play cards that I don't need. Like normally I'll do Asmodeus, because Asmodeus cannot be special summoned from the grave, but they can special summon from back from remove from play, like banished. And I play the discard engine, like hand destruction and card destruction, which is very good. Like hand destruction messed up my opponent's plays. Sometimes they have game on the hand, and I activate this. They will be forced to jump 2 cards, and this will make them lose. Like messed up their plays. Like card destruction also messed up their plays too. So I run this 3. Then 2 staple cards, Dark Hole and Monster Reborn. Then personal tag, D.D.R. This card is very good when you, like normally I'll banish my monsters such as Darklord Asmodeus. I'll just use this card, bring it back, and then my opponent just, like let's say they bottomless trap hole my monster, I just use this and then abuse the effect again. And whenever Asmodeus is destroyed, I can still get 2 tokens, so I run 2 of these cards. Personal tag. Then I run 2 called Haunted, just for big plays, like OTKs. This deck can really OTK sometimes. Right? And last but not least, 3 deck devastation virus. Like I can easily bring big monsters from Valhalla, and they are all dark. And deck devastation just wrecks some decks, such as Yugiohs, Wineups, and maybe it will hurt a little bit of the new archetype, the Elentians, Mermail Elentians, but I have to look up on Mermail Abyssalin, like it's like when it's destroyed it gets a free normal summon, but I have to check that out, will that affect my play. So 3 is still good. Okay, that's all for the main deck. I run 40 cards. Then the extra deck, I run like the basic exceeds that I could find, the level 4s, like the good exceeds. Utopia, I might put a Utopia Ray in here, but I do not have one on me right now, so I'll just play the 4 basic exceeds that you can play. Might put a Gem Knight Pro in there too, like I could just do it. Then since I run like Herald of Orange Light, I still run synchros. So basically I run all the synchros that I could bring out, such as Stardust, Dark Scrap Dragon, sorry, and Black Rose and Ancient Fairy Dragon, because I can. Gaia, the level 6, and a Mistworm. Then I have my personal card, like favorite card, which is Allied Justice Decisive Armor, which I can easily bring out with 1 Herald and 2 tokens from Asmodeus, because they are level 5 and level 3, so they are equal to level 8. So exceed, summon this card. If I'm playing agents or something that has a lot of light in the hand, I can just dump all my cards and then make them lose life points and attack for game, something like that. And then I also play my favorite card, which is Hecatric Sun Dragon Heliopolis. This card is so good because you have like so many monsters that are level 8. You can bring it out so easy. And then you have a hand full of big moss monsters, so you can just dump monster to blow up your opponent's card, and this is 3000 attack. And what if you have a like Call of Hunted? You can just activate Call of the Hunted and bring back 2 more for the OTK, like 28. Bring back Superbia 29. Bring back something like Kristya so that they cannot gorse you or something like that. So 1, 2, 3 attack, that's game. So this is my fun deck. I haven't had a good side deck yet, but this is roughly what would I put in the side deck. So I'll show you some of them. Like I play 3 Eradicators and 3 MSTs, but I do not have the MST right now. So I'm gonna pick that up soon. I run 2 Miracles Descent. Like mostly I'll side it out for other stuff. Like I'll take out the 2 Call of Hunted and play this. If someone play Macro, I'll just use this to counter it. And 2 Rivalry of the Warlords, since I play mostly Fairies and some Fiend, but normally I will have Fairy on the field. So I'll just use this. And a Heavy Storm. So thank you, that's my deck profile. I hope you guys like it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys.